Okay, so I made some progress on this circuit, and I just wanted to show it to you. Even though there's a lot here that still obviously isn't finished, I thought you might just like to see what I have so far. And so the first thing is that if I turn this on, you should see it pop up here as a MIDI device in my computer. I'm not sure if this is all going to be in focus or not, but you might have to take my word for it that that happened. And then so over here in Reaper, I can then use the routing and output this track to this MIDI device. And then here in the MIDI editor, what I can do is if I play the note middle C, then this thing should extend down, turn the magnet on, retract, wait a second for there to be total silence, and then release the magnet. And so I'll show you what that looks like. Yep. And so how far this thing pulls up depends on the velocity of the MIDI note. So I can show you, I'll just set this real high and do that again. So it should retract far before releasing. And alternatively, I could set the velocity low, so it'll just pick it up a little bit. Yeah. And so another thing that I wanted to show you is that this electromagnet actually has a permanent magnet inside of it. So even when there's no power to it, it is still a little bit magnetic. And that turns out to be good because what you can do is put current through it in one direction, and then that'll kind of add with the existing permanent magnet to make it twice as strong as it is by itself. Or you can put current through in the other direction, and that cancels out the permanent magnet so that the sum is kind of zero. And so I wired it up in such a way that you can put current through it in either direction. And so I can show that to you. And so now there's no current going through it. And this is just about the threshold of what it's able to pick up. It's not quite able to pick up the fork from the end here. And so I made this interface where I can control this using MIDI system exclusive messages from the web browser. And so then if I put current through this in one direction, then you can see it has no problem at all lifting this fork from the end. Even if I wiggle it around a little bit, it's plenty strong. And then if I put current through in the other direction, then of course it drops it. And now it's really completely unmagnetic. Okay, and then I can kill the power, so now there's no current running through it either direction, and it's back to being like halfway magnetic. And so I can also show you how we can use this to measure the force here. And so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is first extend this all the way. And then I'll set the speed to pretty slow, just so you can see this, because otherwise everything will happen too fast. And then what I'm going to do is start retracting this. Okay, so now it's very slowly retracting. I don't know if you can see it, but here if I look at the force, it's currently using about 5% of the motor's maximum force. But if I kind of pinch this so that there's some resistance and refresh this, I can see now it's using 15, 25, 27% of the motor's maximum force. And if I release it and refresh this again, it's back to 5% of the motor's maximum force. So obviously I need to play around with this some more, but I think in the firmware then we should be able to make an algorithm where we pick the thing up and then pull it up until it reaches the desired force and then releases it. And then so obviously the next step is going to be kind of building some sort of housing for this that holds it all together with the other parts that you sent me so that we can actually try, picking that thing up and striking with it. Anyway, so yeah, that's my update, and that's it. Bye.